What's up everybody, once again my name is Matt and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. In the last episode we followed Zelda into the deep woods and made our way to the entrance of the very first temple. But as you guys might notice, yeah, we actually can't get inside. We can examine this door, but that's really not gonna do us any good, so we need to find a way inside. You may have actually noticed the solution to this puzzle like as I was walking up those stairs, but in case you missed it, what you want to do, head right over here to this Deku Baba, take it out, and then read this stone slab, which says, "He who descended from above, look to the star that the bird rising heavenward gazes upon, and aim your shot there." So it might seem like a pretty cryptic, riddle that we need to solve. Well, it's actually quite simple. So if we go back to that door, to the entrance of the temple, you'll notice that, yes, it's the picture of a bird, and it's looking upwards. So if we take our slingshot and look up, oh, would you look at that? There's a crystal switch, and if you hit that, sure enough, that will open up the way to the very first temple. And, it's always exciting going into the very first temple of a Zelda game. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just, exhilarating. So anyways, take a deep breath, guys. Smell that dusty, damp, disgusting temple air. And let's head inside. That's what I imagine, all the temples just smell like. Wouldn't be pleasant, but you know what? We gotta go through them anyways. So I'm excited because honestly, Skyward Sword does not get enough credit where credit is due. It does have some really great temple design. Maybe not this first temple because, this is Skyview Temple, and being the first temple, it's pretty linear and straightforward, so probably not the best example, but later on the temples get a lot better, and I'm really excited for that. Master, I have bad news. The aura of many creatures reverberate through this temple. As a result, I can't isolate Zelda's aura. You will not be able to track her here. Given the situation, I suggest you look around to see where we should move next. Right, so all that means is that dowsing for Zelda is entirely useless while inside this temple. Not really that big of a deal since I probably wouldn't have done that anyways. Alright, so these spider webs, yes, you can either roll directly through them and sometimes you will need to break free, or you can cut them down with your sword. Cutting them down takes a little bit longer, but then you don't have to worry about getting caught, but rolling through them is just the better option, so I'm probably going to do that every time I see one of those spider webs. There's really only one or two of them in the entire temple that I would maybe consider cutting down, but still not really necessary. And hey, we got ourselves another amber relic. Hooray! Yeah, you might notice that a lot in Skyward Sword. Sometimes items can just appear in locations that may not be there all the time, so it's kind of random. And I think that amber relic is actually one of those things. So if you ever see something just in an area, try and grab it because it's free. But sometimes they will be in areas that you can't actually reach until maybe you get another item or something like that. Regardless, we got ourselves our very first puzzle. So if we look to the left, that door is locked, and obviously the switch to open it is behind this disgusting Deku Baba. So just stun it with your slingshot, and then you can climb these vines and take it out. That way you can reach the switch. I believe you can actually hit that from down below if you do use your slingshot, but I don't really trust my shaky hands and terrible aim, so yeah, whatever. Anyways, we got ourselves another jelly blob, not bad. I think we actually do need a few of these if we want to upgrade our wooden shield, but we also might need one more item that we haven't actually encountered yet, so that kinda stinks. We had the opportunity to find it, we just haven't found the drop yet, so I might double check that next time we go to Skyloft, but I'm pretty sure we can actually complete that upgrade. Anyways, though, you'll notice that this eye is following our sword, so what you want to do here is just move your sword in a circular manner, and eventually the eye will get dizzy, and that's pretty much how you solve eye-based puzzles. I'm not even joking. It's really bizarre and kind of, I don't know, silly, but it's one of those things that the game does use a lot, and it works really well, so you will hear no complaints from me. Skyward Sword, like I said, it has really good temple design and really good puzzles to go along with those temples, and even though, yes, some of the things do make use of motion controls, they're designed in such a way that actually does benefit the game, and I wish I could say that about more things in Skyward Sword, because then this game would be a whole lot easier to defend. But I don't really want to talk about all the negative things about Skyward Sword right now. I'm going to save that for a video much later on. Just know that I don't hate this game. In fact, I like this game, but I know that it can be better if some changes were actually made. Regardless though, we are at a little bit of a crossroads. There's plenty of doors, although most of them seem locked except for this door because, obviously, yes, there's a giant crystal switch right above this one. So if we hit that, it will unlock the door and allow us to move on to another area of the temple. Now, if you've played this game before like I have, there's obviously a couple of things you could do in this room to maybe speed things along and do things before the game really intends you to do them. And if you do that, it actually makes the temple harder to complete, so you really don't want to like go out of order and sequence break in this game. So for the most part, I'm going to do things the way the game intends you to do them. Alright, so this enemy is a Skulltula. What you want to do is flip it around and then just stab the belly with your sword like so. And now we can read this giant stone slab. 2 doors lead to rooms left and right, but they will only open when the gemstones are struck. One is above, one below. Alright, so that sounds vaguely like the room we were just in. Obviously, there was a door to the left and the right, and in the one to the right had a gemstone above it, which unlocked the door. So, by process of elimination, that should mean back in this room there is a gemstone below the door right across from us that will unlock it. So, what do you say we jump down here and check that out? Sure enough, there it is. So, let me just grab that rupee, and now we can shoot this crystal switch with our slingshot and unlock that door. Anyways, I do have a little bit of a question for you guys. So, this is the very first episode of Skyward Sword that is being recorded on my Wii U. All the previous episodes have been recorded on my Wii. I just decided like I wanted to switch to like using all HDMI, so that's why I started using my Wii U for recording. But yeah, like all my previous like Wii LPs have been done on that same Wii that I bought way back in like 2007 around launch, and I cannot believe that console has like lasted that long without the need for any repairs whatsoever. That thing is really sturdy. Anyway, so I just wanted to know like if there's any improvement in the video and audio quality. It should be around the same, but I figured I'd ask you guys and see if you notice anything that maybe I won't. Anyways, though, yeah, those Skulltulas, they're facing the wrong direction for us to kill them, and since they're on their webs, there's really no way for us to turn them around. So we need to find an alternate path to the other side of this room, and we can get there by knocking down these vines and swing across them like good old Tarzan. Now be careful swinging across these vines because it's very easy to misalign yourself. So if you need to, press B to like stop swinging, then align yourself correctly and just go for the jumps. Also, don't worry about like that alcove off to the right. We do not need to worry about that right now. We'll deal with it in due time, like after we take out those Skulltulas on the walkway. Don't worry, there's nothing crazy involved like swinging into that little area on these vines. I'm pretty sure I've actually tried that at one point. It's not recommended, so don't even worry about it. For now, let's just take care of this guy. Yeah, I learned your patterns. I know what you do. I think I actually did get like a little bit better at the combat in this game, like since I started playing. But I guess like the real test of that will be the boss and mini boss in this temple. So that should be pretty exciting. We're actually getting close to taking on the mini boss. So I'm looking forward to that because it's either going to go really well or you guys are going to see just how bad I am at the combat in this game. Regardless though, yes, there is a crystal switch inside that little tiny alcove, so let's pull out our slingshot and bop that real quick. This is actually one thing you can do a little bit early since the game doesn't really tell you to hit that until about 30 seconds from now, so yeah, hitting it now really has no repercussions. But, oh really, now it's gonna like tell us to break free from that? I swear I walked through that thing like perfectly fine before to get into the middle of that bridge and nothing happened, but whatever, this game is weird sometimes. Alright, so now we're going back into like the main room where we were just in, except this time we're on the upper left. And check it out, if I can actually get on this little tree branch, we can finally open up our very first chest inside this temple and get ourselves the dungeon map. So the dungeon map in this game works a little bit differently than like previous Zelda games. So as this thing sort of fills out, we'll be able to see like doors, locks, chests, and various different X marks. So it's pretty useful because it sort of combines like the compass and the map all into one. Master, I've obtained information for you. You have obtained a map of this area. You can view it by pressing plus. The position of doors and their locks, as well as the position and status of treasure chests, can be confirmed on the map with marks such as X. However, be aware that you will be unable to use beacons here due to the indoor nature of this environment. Yeah, we get it. So the map is actually pretty dang useful in this game, and hang on, let me actually open that up real quick, that way I can stop the game from beeping at me. That is like the most annoying thing about this game, is the constant beeping at you when it wants you to do something. It's like, no, just let me play the game, please. It's like way more annoying than the low health beeping that happens, you know, when you do get pretty low on HP, like in every single Zelda game. Anyways, here is the thing that we could have done before which would have actually made this temple harder to complete, is going in like this little tiny secret room and hitting this crystal switch, because this, like the previous crystal switch, will actually raise the water level. And if you do this like before going into the room on the left, it actually makes it like almost impossible to hit the crystal switch underneath that door. So you need to like figure out a way to unflood the room should you actually do that. So yeah, that's why sometimes doing things ahead of time can be bad in this game. Alright, so now that we've like completely flooded this room, and oh, by the way, don't worry guys, this is not like some crazy water temple or anything like that. That'll come later on. Like, this was just to make new platforms and other areas available to us. But before we move on, actually one thing that I could have done a while ago actually was create a shortcut back to the beginning of the temple. It really doesn't actually save you a whole lot of time. I'm not even sure why this shortcut's even here, but might as well go ahead and create it, you know, just because why the heck not? Really, you only skip like one room, I think, by opening this up, so yeah, it's really not entirely necessary. But if we break down these wooden things, as you can see, we're back where like that staircase was at the very beginning of the temple, and this just like leads us into this room. So yeah, I mean, not a whole lot of time saved there, but whatever. Alright, so we still need to get one small key, that way we can get out of this room, so gotta be a little bit careful with my ammo here because I'm getting dangerously low. I probably should have like tried to restock before entering this temple. That would have been smart, but oh well, I think we should be fine for the most part. And I mean, eventually we should find an area where we can, you know, get more Deku Seeds or whatever inside this area, so hopefully that's the case. But now we can finally enter the room back on the left, but this time we'll be able to get across that huge gap there was from like where that stone slab is. Alright, so there's a chest over here and another Skulltula. Let's quickly get rid of this. Oh, that's not helpful at all, actually. Well, I just made this 1,000 times worse. Oh, jeez, I swear. Sometimes, like, the Wii Remote does not register your stabs as stabs, and instead, you'll do, like, a slice, which can just make things harder than they actually need to be. This guy is swinging all over the place, man. I don't even know if I can hit this. There we go. Sweet. Alright, that actually worked out pretty well. Not bad at all. Okay, so now we can work on getting this chest. It's pretty simple. Just stand like in the middle of both of these eyes. Once they notice you, just move your sword in a circular motion, and eventually they'll get dizzy like so. I think there's actually puzzles in the future that make use of like more than 2 eyes, maybe 3 eyes. So yeah, you're gonna want to like get used to having to like finagle yourself into a position where like multiple eyes can notice you, and you can make them all dizzy to unlock stuff. Anyways, we got ourselves a small key. Yeah, we literally did like everything so far in this temple just to get that one small key. So it's a pretty important key. But now that we got that, we can move on to like the next major area of the temple, which is what I would consider like the hub room. This, although it does give you access to several different areas of the temple, I really wouldn't consider this room to be the hub room. It's like the pre-hub room, and now I'm just sort of like making things up as I go along. Regardless though, now that we have this key, we can actually make our way to the mini-boss of the temple, which I'm really excited for since, like I said, I want to see how well I fare against this thing, since if I do really good, that's great because that means the rest of the game should be relatively easy in terms of combat. If I do pretty poorly, that means the rest of the game is going to go very poorly in terms of combat, since these fights do make use of motion controls quite a bit, and it's something that you need to really understand, otherwise your time in Skyward Sword is not going to be that enjoyable, since things are just going to frustrate you very, very easily. And get out of here, man. You know what, I might actually go around and take out all the enemies in this room now, even though there's really no reason to do that before taking on the mini-boss. I might just do it because, you know, why the heck not? Plus, this room is kind of big, and like there's a lot to see and show off, and there's even a piece of heart in this room that we can collect after we get the item from this temple, so might as well point that out as well. Let me just take care of this guy real quick, and wow, I took care of like 2 bats and that guy in like 10 seconds. Holy crap, that was amazing. So that piece of heart, it should be right over here somewhere. Yeah, right inside this like little tiny cage. Obviously, we can't reach this right now because we need the item from this temple in order to activate like a hidden switch. So I guess like since we've taken a nice little tour of this room, might as well stop delaying and go and take on the mini boss. So let's pull out our slingshot, hit this nice crystal switch right here, and that's going to unlock this door in the center, which will lead into the dome, and that's sort of like where the mini boss arena actually is. It's pretty well designed, honestly. So let's head inside and take on this mini-boss. Oh boy, this could go either really well or really badly. But yeah, we're fighting a giant freaking Stalfos with 2 swords. How crazy is that? So basically, the gimmick of this fight is that, yeah, he has a sword, so hold him in, like, various different combinations to sort of create a wall around himself, and obviously you need to use your motion controls to swing at, like, his opened guard, if you will. So, like, whenever he's not blocking, swing in that direction, that way you can deal some damage on him. What's kind of cool about this fight is, you can actually physically see, like, how much damage you're dealing to him, because, like, his skeletons and his bones will, like, slowly degrade as the fight goes on. So I thought that was a pretty nice touch. Anyways, we're doing pretty good so far, so let's just take it slow and not do anything too crazy. I swear, like, I'm trying not to... Oh my gosh, that did 2 hearts of damage? Holy crap. If he, like, hits you with that heavy attack 3 times, you are done for. Jeez, I did not realize he could actually do that much damage. I mean, that was my own fault. I jumped directly into that, like, as he was charging up, so that was pretty stupid on my part, but whatever. Hey, we actually did it! Wow, that ended a lot faster than I thought it was going to. Like, I'll be honest, I sort of expected the worst from that fight, so even though we did take a little bit of damage due to my stupidity, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Alright, so now we can open up this chest and get ourselves the item from this temple, which is the beetle. So this thing's pretty cool. It's a new item exclusive to Skyward Sword. Basically, we can shoot it off our wrist, and using the motion controls with the Wii Remote, we can guide it around to fly into stuff, cut different ropes, damage smaller enemies, and even hit switches. It's pretty neat. You have acquired a new item. Analysis of this object's insect-like profile and wings indicate it can fly. Tilt the Wii Remote to remotely pilot the device. The sharp structures on the front of the device can sever threads and deliver a blow to smaller objects. To launch the device, press B to ready it for takeoff, then press A. Okay, seems simple enough, and you'll notice that, yeah, we're kind of locked in this room, so now is the perfect opportunity to try out our new item. So, let's shoot it right through this crack in the ceiling, because remember that crystal switch we actually hit to get inside this room? Well, we need to hit it again, that way we can get out of this room. And that confused the heck out of me, like, the first time I played this game. Like, I honestly thought my game broke, and I reset and did the fight again, only to find out that I was an idiot and didn't realize that, I had to shoot and, like, hit the switch from the inside using the beetle. Like, I felt so dumb after I realized what I had to do, but it's just one of those things that was so simple, I just, like, didn't think of it the first time I was playing this game. Anyways, though, now that we're done with that, there's a whole lot of different things that we can do with our beetle and, like, explore different areas. But first things first, I want to get this heart piece. So if we stand right here and look up using our beetle, there's a little tiny opening. You can just barely see it, but basically, we need to fly the beetle up into that, and we should find a hidden crystal switch that will allow us to reach that piece of heart. But yeah, your beetle can only fly for a limited amount of time, so you do need to be quick. Later on, I think we can actually get an upgrade for our beetle that will extend the amount of time that it can fly, and there's, like, a ton of upgrades for, like, all your different items that you probably will want to get, and I will get them. Anyways, though, that is our second piece of heart, so only 2 more to go, and we can fill up another heart container. On that note, I think that's a pretty good place to end off this video, because I do feel like I'm losing my voice just a tad, so we're gonna call it here. If you guys enjoyed this video, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.